Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's screencast. This is my third start. You don't know that, but I do. And I want to do two things first before I get started. One is I want to thank you for listening to my screencasts. I really appreciate it. I haven't gotten any really negative feedback. I know you guys probably can help me improve on these screencasts, and I appreciate that feedback. This is my first semester really doing these, and I know that there's room for growth, which is the topic for today. But I also want to say that it's pretty late at night, and I'm not as prepared to do the screencast as I would like. And so at times I'm going to just be reading the screen, which I try not to do, but I think I will this time around just to get through this. But I hope that it won't be so dry and so boring for you. But anyway, so today's focus, or this week's focus, is on fostering a growth mindset. And we want to learn about growth mindset. It's the buzzword for many schools in San Diego and across the country. It's cutting edge research regarding this idea of growth mindset. And there's a lot that we can do to help our students have a focus on growth mindset. So we're moving away from learning theory and moving into studying motivation, and growth mindset is one of them. So I thought it would be great to kind of like start off with sort of imagining something. And probably since you all have been teaching, you've had this experience maybe happen to you maybe once, maybe more than once. So you're having a whole class discussion, and students, you're asking really thoughtful questions, and a student raises his or her hand and answers, and it's the wrong answer. So the question is, what do you do? How did you handle that? Or perhaps you've worked on several lessons with the students, and you give a test and you find that a student bombs, really badly. What do you do? What do you say? Well, these are issues that when we get into these situations, we can fall back on theory to help us figure out the best way to approach those situations. And so that's what I want to focus on, is how do we use growth mindset to kind of like give us a way to look at how we give feedback. And by the end of this screencast, I would like you to have a sense that when we give feedback, we want to try to achieve three things. We want to give hope, keep hope alive, or, I could give a Star Wars reference, but I'm too tired, I can't. But we want to give hope, promote perseverance among our students. We want to support students learning on the tasks that they are doing. And we want to encourage reflection and self-evaluation. So when we give feedback, we are not just telling them that they did it right or did it wrong. We're trying to promote perseverance, keep them engaged, get them to be self-reflective and self-evaluative, and we want to, of course, help them learn the material. So these are the things that we want to do. So let's look at the theory to try to help us why we want to do that. The first thing that I want to focus on is how can we give feedback that gives hope. And here's a comic strip that attempts to give us a humorous way of looking at things that we don't want to do. So I'm going to just be quiet and meditate on what I'm going to say next, and you can read the cartoon. So clearly, we know that from social learning theory, we know that we want students to be as active as possible in the learning experience. We want them to be engaged. We want them to participate. So we know that there's a learning component to it, but we have to get them wanting to do that. And so there's a motivation aspect. So the feedback that we give should help to foster their interest, their engagement in future activities. So I'm going to leave you with the first question that I'm going to ask you is, which of these statements is most adaptive feedback to give to students? So in other words, when I say adaptive, I am using it kind of like from an evolutionary point of view, meaning which is good for you, which is going to actually provide the most benefit. So which of these statements is going to provide the most benefit to students? Or in other words, which of these feedback that I could give students is going to provide the most benefit to the students? Is it better for me to say, if they bombed the test, to say, that's okay, you tried your best? Or should I say, next time, concentrate and focus during the test? Or should I say, next time, be sure to check your work carefully? So which of these three is best? So I'm going to end this first part of the screencast while you reflect on it, and then we'll talk about it. Well, I'll talk about it in the second part. All right, thanks.